You've got to love a roast chicken. It's a family favourite and it just goes round and feeds a crowd easily. Pop it in the oven for 80 minutes, 90 minutes, or depending on the size of it, and you get a beautiful bird out of it. However, it can be temperamental. Roasting a chicken is a balancing act between trying to keep the moisture in it so that it stays moist and trying not to dry it out, because everybody hates dried out chicken. So you can achieve that by using a low temperature, and I've cooked it that way before, like a 100-degree oven, many hours, about 4 or 5 hours. But then you want the crispy skin, that lovely caramelization that you crave on top, that really savoury depth that you only get from caramelizing meats. It's difficult to do both at the same time. Now, you've seen in previous videos, I hope, that I've messed around with sous vide, the under vacuum or water bath method. And if you're completely observant, you'll have noticed I've got my sous vide machine out here ready to start cooking. I've already preheated it to 68 degrees, but we'll come back to that in a moment. So this is a container filled, insulated container filled with water that regulates the temperature. So I'm going to cook my entire whole chicken sous vide. I've never tried cooking a whole chicken sous vide before, so I'm really interested to see how it works. I've consulted loads of different videos, lots of different blogs, and there's very little consensus over what temperature you should have and what time you should leave it for. So I've gone through a few different sources and I've settled on 68 degrees C, and I'm going to put it in there for 4 hours. But before doing that, I've done a little prep beforehand. Last night, I put a container of water and added 5% salt and 2% sugar, added a star anise and some peppercorns and a little bit of thyme. I've then submerged the chicken in this wet brine overnight, at this rate about 18 hours. I've now taken that out and completely patted it dry so that it's ready for bagging and putting into the sous vide machine. So after draining and drying my whole chicken, I looked at it a bit further, and I think cooking a whole chicken sous vide could be a problem. I just feel that the dark meat is going to cook at a different rate to the breast meat. So you have that when you cook a chicken normally. So therefore I've kept these two separate. I'm going to cook the dark meat longer than the white meat. I've bagged up the supreme, that is the breast with the wing attached, one in each bag. Then a bag just for the legs. I think the legs will need just a touch longer, maybe another hour, than the supremes. So therefore I'm going to seal them up and cook them like that. I'm going to put the legs in for about an hour. I'll then put my chicken supremes in a little bit later, and they can catch up with the rest of the time. So let's get these sealed up. Here we go, my trusty Temu vacuum sealer bargain, which I've got a video for up here you can have a look at. So there's my supreme 1 and 2, and the more I think about it, the more glad I am that I haven't done the whole chicken, because also I'd need to make sure it was submerged within the water level here. So let's pop in the thighs and we'll come back to it in an hour. So while that cooks, a little word on food safety to do with sous vide. When I talk to people about this method, even people that are really experienced chefs and cooks, they express concern about the food not being at the right temperature. Now, I should preface this by saying I'm not a food scientist, nor much training beyond reading and watching lots of things and interviewing different people about food and techniques. Go away and do your own research is what I'm saying. But as I understand it, when you've got a food contaminant like salmonella, salmonella is killed in 30 seconds when it's held at a temperature of 65 degrees C. So 30 seconds, 65 degrees C, salmonella is killed. However, at 55 degrees, salmonella takes 15 minutes to kill. So therefore, when you're not using high temperatures, you're using the benefit of time at certain temperatures to make sure that your food is safe. And that's where sous vide is safe. So what I'm saying is don't sous vide your chicken for 5 minutes. It's not going to work. You need to balance off time and temperature. And with any luck, I'll go and make a chart and I'll insert it here. So it's really important to be safe and make sure that the temperature of the food remains constant and at a long enough time to keep everything safe. So the chicken breast supremes have had 4 hours, the thighs have had 5 hours, and just going to remove them from there. You can see supremes either side and the thighs, the drumsticks in the middle there. I'm not going to cook the drumsticks today, therefore another meal, another day. So I'm just going to cook off those supremes now. Taking them out the bag. As often with sous vide food, it doesn't look great because it hasn't had a chance to colour, but we're going to sort that out in a minute. They now need to be finished. Obviously perfectly edible at this stage. Absolutely can eat them, no problem at all. They're completely safe. But as I said earlier, you want that caramelization, you want that colour on them. So we want to do something to them. I think if this was a steak, you'd be pan frying it. But the uneven nature of the surface makes it quite hard to do on a pan and get it done all over and it'll be all patchy. A barbecue, a grill for my American friends, that would be absolutely perfect. Where you can flame it on all the different sides and turn it. I think what I'm going to do today is I've put my oven to my highest setting, 250C. I think that's as high as it goes, or whatever the highest setting is. And then I'm just going to pop it in there, not to cook it, obviously it doesn't need cooking, it's perfectly safe, but to absolutely blister the outside so I can get some lovely colouring on there. Hopefully that should take less than 10 minutes, because I don't really need to cook it further. As I said, we're just colouring it. I could blowtorch it, but I think that might actually be not the way to go here. I think the skin will blacken quicker than I can actually get anything done to it. So yeah, just going to blast it in the oven for about 10 minutes. Supreme of chicken, sous vide and finished in the oven. Just about 10 minutes just to colour it. That's all it's doing there, with some potatoes and petit pois à la française. So I think we need to try it. You can see there, perfectly moist. Typical sous vide method. I haven't had sous vide chicken in a long time. You know, it's got that tackiness that you get where it hasn't broken down yet. The inside, the liquid hasn't run away. Let me cut right into it. Yeah, supremely juicy, really chickeny. Exactly what you want. Really good. Very pleased. I'd do it again, I think. Have you tried sous vide before? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed that. I've got other sous vide recipes up here for gammon and steak and more besides, so go and check those out as well.